What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Sword from Stone. Today I'm going to be jumping into the beautiful game Satisfactory. It went into 1.0 recently. We are now in 1.1. It's going to be an absolute blast. We got a huge map to explore, tons of resources to automate, just a boatload of stuff to do in this game. It's going to be my first episode of a hopefully long playthrough, so I hope you guys enjoy. And if you do enjoy this video in particular, definitely make sure to leave a comment, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I'll be keeping a close eye on those comments, just looking for feedback, stuff like that. It's my first video on this channel, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I will get better over time, but yeah, I hope you guys like the video, and let's go ahead and jump straight in. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started off with episode 1 of our Satisfactory playthrough. So I'm going to be going to new game here. Going to start in Dune Desert, and this is going to be YouTube playthrough. And I'm going to skip the onboarding process. I mean, I've seen it so many times. Like, it's kind of like a time-consuming process, so I'm not really going to worry about it. It basically just kind of teaches you the basics and gets you set up. And the way these maps work. It's all a part of the same big map. This is going to be an easier location to start out for a lot of players. Kind of same thing here. These are both going to be really easy. This one is tougher, and this is the hardest spot to start. In my opinion, I think this is one of the easier spots to start, just because all the resources are so close together. Like, I know for the longest time I used to start here, and I would get my iron, I'd get my copper, my limestone, get everything set up, even maybe some sulfur, caterium, but I'd have to go like 1,000 meters for coal, so starting coal power was always a brutal endeavor. I think now they updated the map though, so I think there's a little more coal near here, so you have an easier time making steel, you have an easier time getting the coal power going, so. But we're going to be starting here. There's a really nice ocean spot that I like to set up at. So, let's go ahead and get that going. Confirm here, just playing basic settings. Gonna get as a legitimate playthrough as possible here. It's like we are in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to start collecting these, because these barrel nuts come in handy.
Potential
I'm
edible
gonna let all
collected.
these ADA
Eating it and surviving does
play.
not count as a valid field test and does not generate enough data for Fixit to make an informed decision.
First thing
Store
I'm gonna
this
do.
potential resource for later use.
First thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and locate some decent iron sources. I should have looked at this one. So we got a pure here, so that's a decent spot to start. Trying to think here. Gonna get this and this into my hand, as well as those, because I'm gonna want to get some limestone getting mined as soon as possible. Another iron node, got a couple copper nodes here. Oh, I forgot it's Christmas time, so they're gonna be running a cool Christmas event. There'll be these kits that'll kind of drop in, which is nice. Gives you small rewards kind of throughout the playthrough, so we'll be looking at all that.
Samples of new alien species acquired. Notable features are blunt teeth, suggesting it is herbivorous, and a thickly plated skull and spine, suggesting it is proficient at inflicting and receiving blunt force trauma. Preserve the remains for later study.
Proficient at receiving blunt force trauma, I like that. Some of Ada's lines are really funny. This game has been out for forever, and Impure is kind of not what we're looking for. We might want to head down that way. But Ada's got some hilarious lines, and over the years of the game being out, they've just kind of flushed out everything a little bit better. So that's been really cool to see how everything progressed throughout the beta and then the 1.0 release, I think recently, as of last year probably. Awesome. And we're just going to be trying to collect as much resources as we can right now. I'm looking for at least a normal limestone node. I think there'll be one over here. I'm going to get these two if I ever come across one. These are power slugs. Super useful for maximizing your miners early game.
This semi-slug species seems to persist entirely through absorbing and storing energy from its surroundings. Studying this could provide new methods for improving fix-it production line efficiency. Store this potential resource for later use.
Because in the beginning of the game, like say you have a normal normal limestone node like this right here, I can place a regular miner on it right here, and that's gonna get me 60 resources per minute. If I can put 3 blue power slugs, technically, because you craft these guys into crystals. If I can put 3 crystals into one of those miners, I can get it up to 250%, which would make it so I could get 150
which is
out of this node.
naturally full of gifts, the basic part necessary for most Fixmas seasonal event activities.
I don't need to build a better miner.
Don't forget to check the calendar or the map to see what you can do with these gifts. Or do forget, I don't care.
Looks like that was like a Christmas specific message.
Potential edible collected. If consumed before authorized is
icon
compatible with the
I
human
like
digestive system by Fixit, the consumer is responsible for any and all consequences. Store this potential resource for later use.
Kind of getting sidetracked. I will head back to that normal node. I just saw this Mercer sphere in here and wanted to get these hogs, get this Mercer sphere. These are great as well. Down the line in the future of the playthrough, we'll be using those.
The astrobiologist Dr. D.M. Mercer was the first to recognize the presence and probable nature of these alien artifacts. These chain-melted state spheres are named in his honor. Each sphere emits a unique signal and will require study to determine local application. Store it for later use.
Yeah, so those Mercer spheres, essentially the application that she's talking about is we'll be able to make these things called dimensional depots, and that's going to make it so we can, whenever we build a factory, like say it's for iron plates or something like that, screws and rods, whatever, we can slap dimensional depots after the storage containers. And that'll make it so we can access the storage container technically from anywhere. So we don't need to keep running back to base or anything like that to access our resource storages, because they'll be all over the place. I mean, there are so many different materials and items that you need to craft up to, and then craft those materials into other materials. It's just insane. I meant to build more of these. I wanted to get like 8, because I know that the copper and iron are going to be close together. So I'm going to be using these to mine up limestone for a good portion of the time. In the wrong spot. Whoops. Okay, so I have 12 of these guys. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Awesome. So now every time we come down here, like after probably a minute 40 or so, I think it's 1 per second, we'll have 800 limestone waiting for us. The way this game kind of works is you'll end up unlocking foundation through kind of progressing
this is
the
ridiculous.
game. We'll kind of dive into it here in a sec once I build this hub, and I'll kind of show you guys what I mean. I just slap this down somewhere completely random, just to kind of get this going.
Look through the window and notice a thread. The Summer Sloop was named after Marie Somerville, co-founder of Fixit and head of its R&D department. There are many theories about the origin of this shape and why this symbol mathematically resembling a Mobius strip has found its way into both human and extraterrestrial culture. Thankfully, you don't need to know any of these theories to be a pioneer. Store it for later use. Fun fact: the planet you are on was found and named during a planet spotting event Marie hosted called Marie's Awesome Scientific Search of the Avant-Garde Exoplanets.
Some interesting little lore for you right there. It's funny because when I first started playing this game, like all of those were, at first I don't even know if they were in the game, and then later on, um, they obviously added them, but they were like work in progress. Like it didn't say anything about them. You didn't really get any information or anything like that. So the fact that they really worked on the story throughout all the updates and everything is really cool. Um, So right here is kind of what I was talking about with the foundation. I got base building right here. It's going to require the 200 concrete, 100 iron plates, 100 iron rods. And we're going to be automating pretty much every resource we can in this playthrough, all the way up until at least the 5 and 6 area. So that's going to be like steel, computer. It's going to get crazy for sure. But this is one of the most important ones right here, just because being able to build these foundations makes it so you can kind of put your factory layouts on all flat ground, and you can kind of see the region that I'm in right now is not very like flat, so we're going to be focusing on getting these foundations locked down. Splitters and mergers is super important as well for logistics, because we're going to be doing like, one miner is going to split into 2 or 4 smelters. And then some of those smelters might have to merge to make plates. Some of them might have to get split to make rods. So we'll be going into that. Field research is awesome. We unlocked the map, and you can start kind of exploring and getting the map cleared out. The map is massive. I mean, I haven't played such a detailed, high quality map in any game like this in so long. It is crazy. So we'll try and check out all the biomes as well. There's plenty of stuff to see. And then we have part assembly. So these are going to be all kind of the basic materials that we make, like cables, copper sheets, and then wires to make the cables. You can see that kind of icon down there, 2-to-1 ratio. Screws are made from rods, so we'll be getting screws there as well. Then we're obviously going to have the concrete that we looked at back here. That's going to be what we make the foundation out of for the most part. Jump pads is something I never really use. I mean, you kind of just hop on there, bounce to a random spot, you land on a jelly pad. I think you're just risking death at that point until you unlock like the parachute and stuff like that, but I don't know. Um, and then we have the awesome sink. This stuff is going to be really cool. The awesome shop as well. This is going to kind of be like tons of cosmetic stuff just to make the factories look cleaner, kind of more put together. And it will be able to introduce some verticality to the factories as well. And then this is just going to help us transport more resources per belt line. Stackable conveyor pulls. Don't really use these too much. Sometimes I do, but... And then we got the lifts. All of that is going to be nice. And then I'm going to go over this calendar right here. This is kind of the whole Christmas thing.
Welcome to Fixmas, an official Fix-It seasonal event, brought to you by official Fix-It Fun engineers. Fixmas is based on a seasonal holiday popular in several cultures and religions, often seen as a winter holiday because no one actually cares about Australasia. The event is vetted to be 100% pioneer-appropriate fun and is not obligatory. Fixmas enables many new distracting activities focused on building the giant Fixmas tree. These activities involve the MAM, the Fixmas calendar, and those abominations falling from the sky. There is more, but I don't care. In the interest of us all, I will tell you that Fixmas has caused stress, lack of focus, general despair, and physical injury to many pioneers. It is the worst scoring event ever created by Fixit, and has gotten backlash for its blatant cultural inappropriateness. So when you inevitably change your mind and decide to disable this event, you will have chosen humanity and kittens and puppies, you will have chosen truth and empathy, you will have made me proud.
Yeah, so that is awesome. I'm pretty sure what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be looking for all the different numbers. Today's the 2nd of December, so I think I can collect the 1st. Oh yeah,
This
data
data
cartridge day
cartridge
1.
contains the Fixmas MAM tree setup and will need to be fed into the MAM database to unlock its first 2 branches. If this seems convoluted and/or boring, and you wish to quit the event, I will understand.
I wonder if they got backlash from like the first time they did the event or something, because this is hilarious. Alright, I think this is the 2, yeah. Oh, that's awesome,
Does
a
that
hard
one come
drive.
with a receipt?
The hard drive is awesome. Uh, we're going to be finding those all over the place. It's essentially going to help us unlock alternative recipes for a lot of the stuff that we need to craft. And sometimes it can help make logistics just a little simpler. So those are going to come in handy when we start building the more complex factories for the tougher parts to come across. So now I'm kind of thinking where we want to start. I mean, I know that the limestone is done. I think the first thing we want to focus on is getting this. So we need to make we need to make rods. We have enough plates. So we want to start some iron production here. So I'm gonna go look for a pure node around here of iron. I'm gonna try and pick up these guys as well. Because I'm pretty sure you need a lot of these gifts.
Not worth the effort.
Dude, she's so funny with this event. Like, I remember when I played it for the first time last year, and I think she's low key right. I think I made it like halfway through, and then was yeah, sick and tired of all these gifts flying around. It is a little weird sometimes. It's
Ho ho,
impure.
oh whatever.
All right, so that's an impure node, and essentially what the different node purities mean is like on an impure node, if I slap a miner on there, that's gonna be giving me like 30 ore per minute, and then on a normal node, you can see I'll be getting the 60 default extraction rate is 60 resources per minute there over on the right. Um, New little monster there, Spitter.
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. Their
Normal.
weaponized plasma is most likely stored as a stable chemical substance in an organ close to their mouth, and only turns volatile when exposed to one of the chemical elements in the air. Preserve the remains for later study.
Yeah, the cool thing that what she's kind of talking about with the studying and stuff is we have I actually don't know if we have it unlocked yet, but there's a thing called a MAM. I think it stands for molecular analysis machine. And we'll be using that to kind of do a separate tree.
I'm sure this is useful to someone, somewhere.
It'll be kind of like a separate tree of progression that we get to go through with a variety of different resources. I think sulfur and coal is one. Mycelia is another one. Caterium. So there's okay, so we got a pure node right here. Eventually what I'll be looking at is building like a factory for iron production. And we're going to be looking at kind of just a steady rate of iron plates, iron rods, and screws. Just those simple iron materials. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm going to mine this out. And I'm going to go ahead and try and get a miner down here. I'm going to have it angled the way that I want the factory to face, even though I'm going to be kind of doing a variety of different things. The cool thing about this game is, I swear you'll have an absolute blast to just rebuilding the Iron Factory or your Iron Factory over and over and over again as you unlock more cosmetics and you unlock better better items for um, building the factories, like foundation, for example, or like conveyor floor holes, so you can put conveyors through floors, stuff like that. So it'll be a blast. Just you wait. So we don't have splitters or anything like that yet. So I'm just gonna be um, starting out with just one line. And if you guys are following along or playing your own playthrough, you can kind of look at you can hold control on your keyboard and you can see how I'm snapping in line with the miner. So for those of you who are, keeping everything in line nice and even is important, like myself, I would definitely recommend doing that. And we're just going to get it going straight into the smelter. And we're going to set the smelter to iron ingots. I must have already done that. And then I have a constructor right here. And we're just going to connect that up with a conveyor belt. And we're going to get, I guess, iron rods for now. Just because we'll need that to make screws, so I think that kind of makes sense. Obviously, right now, it's not going to be running at any type of efficiency. Eventually, we're going to want to do this miner, which is getting... How much is it getting? 120 ore per minute into a splitter, into 2 more splitters. So we have a 4-way split, essentially. So 4 belts of 30. And then each of these smelters will be able to be at full capacity, and we'll get 120 iron ingots per minute. And then we can divvy up that iron into the different constructors to make the 3 different resources that we're going to need early game out of the iron node. So I'm going to go ahead and just hook this up to a storage container now. Nice and simple. And now we're going to need to get power to these machines. So I'm essentially going to take 1 pole, which is going to have... The Mark 1 poles have 4 slots. So I'm going to take this 1 pole, set it right there. I'm going to hook up these 3 machines. And we're going to run this all the way back over to our hub, which is down that way. And we got a max length here, so I'm going to kind of stretch that out as far as I can. We're probably going to set it up on that ridge here. Right here. And then what I always like to do is I like to come over here to where I have these 2 biomass burners, which are built into the hub, which is awesome. If you play the tutorial, you'll kind of see what that's all about. And then I'm going to be taking this pole, kind of setting it in front, so I have some extra stuff. And then I can connect these 2 up here. Awesome. So now I'm going to need to go find some biomass for these. My max consumption is 13 megawatts, which is not a whole lot. I mean, eventually we'll be constructing a factory that's sole purpose is going to be getting power, and it should be able to achieve like 43 gigawatts. So it's going to be up there. Just the level of progression in this game, going from nothing to a full-blown, basically harvesting the whole planet. It's a ton of fun. I'm gonna grab these right now while I'm down here. If I could compare this to other games, I would probably say like it's kind of like a Minecraft on crack, maybe, or like, have you ever heard of Shapes? Shapes 2 is a really good game. I played that one. I get a good amount. Factorio is also a solid one. But yeah, we got all this wildlife down here. So we're gonna just be running around, hitting these bushes. I essentially just pressed E on one of the bushes, and now I'm holding it down so I can just run around and collect all this. And we're gonna go back when we have like around we'll call it at like 300. I think that'll be I think that's a good amount. Just so we can get the factory like starting to work, right? So we got 300. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna get these 2 presents along the way. You'll probably see me do some things that like aren't the most efficient, and it doesn't really make a whole ton of sense, but that's just kind of me wandering around and, you know, doing my thing. So if you have any faster stuff that I could be doing, or any strats that I could be using, definitely leave them down in the comments. And if you get upset with the way I play, I am truly sorry. But if you're also curious on what I'm doing here, like, you can do a slide into a jump, and you're going to be flying much faster than you are if you're just running or walking. So that's kind of what I'm doing to navigate a little bit quicker. I'm basically going to go ahead and craft all this up into biomass now. Hopefully I can get like around 100 in each machine. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm gonna come over here, split this with right click, shift left click to get that in there. Now that is powered, and our miners, I'm gonna come over here and just show you that they're working now and kind of what that looks like. Now I think for the first episode here, I'm basically just going to get some basic iron production going, and then some basic copper production. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I would like to unlock base building and logistics, and then I'll probably wrap up the video. I'm going to try not to do too much off screen. I want to make sure that I have you guys along for the ride for the most part. If I'm doing anything super tedious, like I need to craft like 500 rotors or something by hand, I'll obviously cut that. But yeah, so you can see our iron ore is getting mined, and we have these iron ingots coming from our smelter, and then we have these iron rods coming from our constructor. And you'll see that when this machine fills up and hits 100, the light on it will turn yellow. That kind of just means it's on standby. And it'll be the same thing here, just because, you know, we're going 120 into a machine that can only handle 30, into a machine that can only handle 15. So we're gonna have some backed up belts here shortly, that's for sure. So yeah, right now that's working great. Oh, and if the lights are red, that means they're either not connected to power. Yeah, I think it just means they're not connected to power. They're unpowered. So when we're building factories and stuff like that that are a little more complex, those indicators will help us out a lot.
A baby could have found this.
Thank you, Ada. That was a pleasant remark. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I got rods going. That storage will fill up pretty quick. I'm getting 15 per minute, so I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to lock down a copper node, and I'm going to try and get wires out of that. I know I'm looking at one right there. I'm going to check and see what we're looking at here as far as purity goes. Impure. In general, I would rather cover a larger distance with power cables and potentially belts in the future than and be mining a normal or pure node than do something relatively close and be on an impure node. Unless the factory that I'm building like only calls for 30 or 60 copper. Like that right there is a normal node. I'm looking around. I know there's a pure node around here somewhere. I think we just looked at that one. Or 440. Okay, so I think I'm going to be happy with this normal node here. For now, at least. I can obviously branch out. It looks like we only have these 3 nodes, though, so this normal node will have to do for what we need it for. Because this is going to be eventually doing copper sheets, wires, and then converting those wires into cables, or at least a portion of those wires into cables. So I'm going to get a miner here. Need to build another portable miner. Get this equipment workbench out. Oh, so I have no rods. Okay, so I'm going to go run over here real quick. Get those rods. That's kind of the worst part about it right now is that, like, eventually you'll have the luxury of just having an inventory full of stuff just because you have all the dimensional depots using the Mercer spheres that we kind of looked at earlier. And that'll help out a lot. But I'm essentially just going to run over here and grab all the rods. Hopefully I have enough rods in storage to do the base building milestone, which is 100 rods, but I highly doubt it. Let's see what we got over here. 61, so we definitely don't yet, but I could have sworn. Oh, I got them on my hand. That's my bad, guys. I was like, I could have sworn I only placed 8 out of 12. That's, yeah, I totally should have looked at that and seen that. I'm going to get those out of the hand because I don't really think I'm going to be dropping those on anything else. But what I can do is I can bring these power cables over here just so I don't have to come back. That'll be kind of nice. And at some point, I might even consider doing base building second. Alright, where was I at? Was this it? No. Oh yeah, over down there. I might even consider doing base building second, just so I can get the splitters and mergers. Just so I can make plates and rods at the same time. Okay, got the cable there. I'm gonna clear that out. Get this miner down. That angle's good enough for me. Gotta get a smelter out front first. In line there. And you can also kind of configure the way the belts look. So you can see this is the default. It's basically just going to draw a straight line to wherever you're aiming. And then I can switch to straight. That's going to straighten out the whole thing. I can also switch to curve, which is always going to give you like a really nice bend to it. So there's a few different ways that you can customize building, and you'll definitely see me switch through those pretty quick on the fly when I'm playing, or when I'm building some of the larger factories. So we're going to come here, select our copper ingots, and we're going to select wires here. Make sure to get a storage container out, and we're just going to connect that straight up. And same thing that we did over with the iron. Just going to hook all this up. Had just enough power line. Just enough cables for those power lines. And yeah, so that's going to be our copper making the wires now. And we got rods being constructed over yonder. I'm going to come back down here just because I know we're going to need more biomass soon. And then the next thing I'll probably do is craft up the all that limestone into concrete. It's kind of funny because you'll see some of the prompts are very like anti-worker, like not very worker friendly, given that I'm kind of like a quote-unquote fix-it employee, right? So I'm sent down to this planet. I'm here to harvest resources here and send resources up through a space elevator to what we believe is Earth to save all of mankind. So you'll see plenty of nods and kind of little jokes that she'll mention, such as like damage to fix it. Oh, I'd have to see the actual message. It's like damage to fix it property or something. Like, and that would be like if I took damage from an enemy. So that is kind of funny. Clearly a valued employee for the Fix-It Corporation. But you guys will see plenty of examples of that. It's always a good laugh. Ada makes it pretty funny, so. You also got all these hotkeys down here, like B for flashlight, which comes in handy at night. I've always noticed that the skies and the other planets, and sometimes you'll see moons and stuff, it's always gorgeous on this game. So, and I don't believe it's too intensive on the hardware. Obviously, when you get further along and you got, you know, dozens of factories all over the map with tons and tons of resources coming on belts and everything like that, I think it's a little harder on the PC. But that's only when you're in render distance. Like, I'm pretty sure the way they do it is if you're too far away from your factory, it's essentially just a math equation. Like, they don't run the items on belts or anything like that. It's all just done through the math of it. Which I'll be working through with you guys as well when we're delving into some of the more complex factories. But I'm just gonna go ahead and store a lot of this stuff that I don't need. That's kind of a little more like the alien stuff, right? And the Christmas presents. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and make a cut here, and I'm gonna just craft up all this concrete. It takes a good sec, so yeah. See you on the other side. Alright, we are back. Just finished with the concrete. We ended up getting about 300. Kind of looking around now. I definitely want to try and get some of these. Oh, I wanted to take a look here and see what we needed to do for logistics. So we're gonna need more iron rods and 300 wires. So I'm gonna go ahead and gather up these resources and go ahead and get this upgrade done. I'm just gonna dump everything into this right now, and we'll kind of run around. We should have enough rods over here to switch this over to plates, because that's kind of what we're going to be doing right now. I want to take this and select the iron plates as a recipe. Take that. And yeah, I'm essentially going to keep crafting limestone into concrete and leaves and wood into biomass until I'm done and ready to go. So I'll probably be cutting most of this out, but yeah. This game is a lot of waiting at the beginning right now. It's either gonna be like, you're gonna be handcrafting stuff.
Yes, yes, well done.
You're either gonna be handcrafting a lot of stuff, or just waiting for your machines to do the work. So definitely make sure.
Do we need that?
She says something every time, bro. It's insane.
Unknown metal collected. This metallic element is showing properties similar to those in Group 11 on the periodic table, such as high conductivity and malleability. Store this potential resource for later use.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's referencing copper. Because Caterium is a lot like copper and gold, I believe. So I'm going to be running down here. We're going to grab some more leaves. And we're going to grab some more limestone. You can see that weird looking monster over there. I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know. I can't remember how the game describes it, but it's actually hilarious. I think we'll probably see at some point. It's like giant giraffe elephant tick head thing or something. It's fun. Oh, another hostile right here. I'm gonna see if I can get hit by it and see if it gives me the message. Oh, okay, it didn't really do that. Well, swing and a miss right there. But yeah, I'm gonna mine this too. This is quartz right here.
Unknown crystalline mineral collected. This mineral is composed of the same chemical elements as quartz and may yield similar industrial functions. Store this potential resource for later use.
I think I mainly use quartz as like a cosmetic thing for my factories, just because we use it to make silica and then we use that to make glass. We also use quartz to make blade runners, which will help our mobility a lot. So we're going to be taking less fall damage. We're going to be moving faster when we're running. We'll be able to slide further. So blade runners will be a top priority. Just to make the whole navigation of the map much, much, much easier. Come on, buddy. I'm gonna go hit these guys. Gather up another 800. Those power slugs that I was talking about earlier, you see we have another blue one right there. We also have yellow slugs. Those will give us 2 power crystals per slug, I think, or maybe 3. I can't remember exactly. And then we'll also have purple slugs that give us 5. Whenever you work your way to a purple slug, you either had to explore pretty hard or you had to fight your way to it. So purple slugs are always going to be in tougher spots. At the very top of those arches, sometimes you'll see purple slugs. But yeah, I mean, you can look at the map and how expansive it is. It is just in this region, and I mean, we'll be getting to explore all of that. So super exciting stuff. There's never a time in this game really where you just have nothing to do. So it's just go, go, go. So if you're into the math of it, and do you like, you know, you're interested in stuff like load balancing and making perfectly efficient belt lines and factories that run exactly how you dream them up, I mean, this is your game for sure. That was one of my biggest pros when I got into this game. I just loved it to death. I mean, I'll explain it to some other people, and they're just like, "Yeah,
Just get
what
back to work.
What are you into that game for? Like that's like you just working in a video game. It don't really make sense, but I think it's fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and make another cut right here, and get this limestone all sorted out. So, yep. Alright, I'll probably cut that last part out just because I had my phone going still. I didn't even realize. Anyways, I decided to knock out that biomass as well, just to get the furnaces filled back up. I'm gonna come over here, check on our iron plate situation. We should have enough to get the logistics going for the milestone. Nice. So we got 86. Sweet. I think I'm going to leave it on plates for now, because the next time I come over here, I'll be splitting everything, so. And the first rendition is going to be sloppy, just because I'm doing it on the sand, so it definitely won't be, like, the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but it'll definitely be more efficient than what we got going on right now, that's for sure. I went right past it just to get over here. I'm not really worried about picking up every gift, just because I don't necessarily want to have you guys suffer through Ada's horrible voice lines over and over again. If I need to go run around and collect a bunch at some point for some quest or something, or some milestone, then I'll do that, probably off camera. But I'll make sure I'm recording everything, just so that if I see something interesting or she says something crazy, I'll throw it in, so. Alright, let's go ahead and get this going. Nice. Alright.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fix-It encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean. Breathe in, visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes. Breathe out, feel refreshed and focused on your duties.
Oh, I feel much better. I'm clearing all this. And I just held control to select everything, and then held left click just to dismantle. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to get this conveyor splitter. And you can see I got 3 outputs, 1 input. So I'm going to line that input up with the miner. And a little far, I think I could... I also want to set up my hotbar. And I'm going to get this on 5. And I can use E to switch to the merger. So I'm fine just having the splitter bound. And then I'm going to use H here to run around, see if I can come any closer. And I think I will. So I'm going to use left with my arrow keys to nudge that in. I can also use control and then the arrow keys to nudge a shorter distance. I think it's like half the distance. And then I can go page up and page down as well to move that. That might be too close. Let's see. No, that's perfect. Okay, so we have 60 coming out right now just because the belt only allows for 60. Which means we need 2 smelters. I think that's in line, yep. So I'm going to drop 1 right here. And in line with that other smelter, I'm going to drop this one right there. Don't know how even that is, but... then I'm going to be taking this, straightening the belt out, and curving the belt. I think would be better. Nice. Sweet. And then I'm going to start taking this power line, and we're going to ship so now these are powered, and these are both going to be making iron ingots. And then, so for plates, it's going to be... oh, I need more cables. I'm just going to build a crafting bench real quick. And cables. But essentially the iron plates are going to be taking 30 iron ingots for... okay, so I want to actually line this up with the center here. So we're going to be going like right here and up. The left right. Awesome. Now we got rods, and then plates. Perfect. So we need the full 30 from this machine, 4 plates, right? So that's just 30 to 30 right there. So I'm sending 30 right in there. But these, on the other hand, is only 15. So I'm going to be putting a splitter here. So that way I can get 2 belts of 15. Awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to have 30 rods per minute and 20 plates per minute. And then if I look at... I actually don't have any more reinforced plates, so this is going to have to do for now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get a merger, because we want to merge those two. I could definitely move that closer. And then I'm going to be building storage bins. I'm going to do one here and one right on top of it there. So this can go here, this can go there. Just building something pretty simple right now, just for the plates and rods. When we can get the foundation going, it'll be a little more satisfying. So. Now these are all working. Oh, perfect. And then I'll probably be handcrafting screws at the moment. I'm not really too stressed out about it, so. Otherwise, I would take the 10 of the 30 rods that we are making and just convert it into screws. But I don't really feel like doing the splits and stuff like that right now. I'll just handcraft it. And plus, I'm also out of reinforced plates for constructors, so I'd need to wait anyways. I'm trying to think if we really need to do anything down here. Let's check our power consumption real quick. Oh yeah, see, our max consumption right now is like just under what our capacity is. So that means if we added another machine over there, it'd probably go over and below our fuse. So I think what I'll go do is get some more grass. Awesome. Almost 500. I think that's plenty. And essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building 2 more biomass generators next to our hub, just to take care of the power consumption that we will use. Sorry, I silenced my phone. It's supposed to be snowing tonight. I'm in Colorado right now, so Christmas is coming, man. It's hopefully we get a good snow. If not, oh well. Better at least snow for Christmas, am I right? But okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is definitely the next milestone we want to go for. Let's get these biomass generators down. Cool thing with these now is you can actually automate these guys. So you can feed belts in and everything. You used to not be able to do that, but alright, let's get this biomass. But yeah, so eventually we'll probably build like a power plant or something that's just purely biomass, and we'll make it nice and easy, where you basically will just walk up to the front of the factory, put your biomass or your solid biofuel, whatever, into the factory. And it'll automatically distribute everything, probably through a manifold or something along those lines. Might do an even split, who knows. I'm gonna go ahead and get that concrete in there. Iron plates and iron rods. Luckily we just sorted out that production over here. Gonna go check on that and see how we're looking. It's definitely gonna be important for me to craft screws out of some of these rods. So I'm probably going to come down here, set up a crafting bench. We're going to take a look at this. Nice, so we're already getting much more iron rods than we were. Whoops. Gonna try and get some screws here, because we want to make some reinforced plates. Because we're going to have to at least build one more constructor over here for screws. And then we're going to have to build a handful of constructors over for copper. I think we at least need 2 more. Because I think we're getting 60 copper. And then depending on how this splits. Oh yeah, so we're gonna 60 copper, we're getting 120 wire out of that. That'll be interesting. But for now, I'm gonna clear this, get rid of all this. I actually can keep this though. This merger I'm gonna hold on. Just for the simplicity of logistics. Yeah. Okay, so, and then we're going to take a splitter here. Is that fine? Nope. So we're essentially taking 15 and 15, merging it, getting a belt of 30, and then we're going to be taking 10, because we're dividing that 30 by 3. You get 10 on each belt here. I'm going to have a constructor out on the side. Do I still have my... I definitely got rid of it. I'm going to just keep this here for now, probably. But need more cables, so let's get those. But I need to build another constructor out. I guess we'll go this way. Why not, right? So we're going to be taking 10 this way, and we're going to be making screws. And then we're going to be taking the other 20. Whoa. What is going on? Hopefully there's no sensitive data. Probably just got doxed. Alright. Default belt there. So that's essentially taking the 2 lines of 10, merging them back into a line of 20. And we have our storage container for rods right here. So we're going to get slightly less rods per minute. We're only getting 20 per minute out of this. But we're going to be getting 40 screws as well. Make sure to hook that up over. I guess there is fine. It's not perfect, ladies. It's not perfect, guys, but it'll have to do. This. So now we're going to be looking at 40 screws per minute, 20 rods per minute, and 20 plates per minute. So that'll be perfect for that. This iron ore I'm getting rid of. Copper ore I don't need. Caterium and quartz we're keeping though. Awesome. So this is good enough until we want to build a full-blown factory. Alright, so now we're going to be taking a look at this. I'm going to get rid of all of this here. So we have 60 per minute, which means we need we're going to be doing kind of the same thing we did with the iron. Got a splitter here. Straight down. 2 smelters side by side. Get this looped in here. So now we have 60 copper ingots per minute. See how we're doing on power. Oh yeah, look at that. That's perfect. So now we have 30 coming from each side. Let's figure out what we need to do for these constructors here. We're looking at wire specifically. 120 wire. Okay. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we definitely need to build splitters here. Hopefully we built this with enough room in mind. Because I'm gonna need to build... I don't know if we built this with enough power in mind. But I want it lined up with that, because I think we did make enough room. That's good enough. Cables. Cables, 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 cables. Eventually we'll be making them, so it'll be alright. I think I need at least 24. Should be enough. 24 cables. So I need to build another constructor here. Another constructor here. And then I'll need to build one constructor. Another reinforced plate. Screws. Absolutely no problem. Build all that. Get another constructor here. Perfect. So now what we're going to be looking at is wire. 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 Awesome. And we're actually gonna move this kind of in the center here. Because I'm gonna need to build a merger here. Oh, come on. Let's do this further. Make sure we have plenty of room. It's good that sand is a little steep, I think, so. Perfect. And then this is going to be going cable. So we're taking 60 wire, which these two machines together will provide. And then we're going to grab a hold of this. It's all finished up. And now we can get our 2 storage bins. Iron plate. Ah, tough. Okay, so we'll see what else we can do here. I'm gonna need like 1 here and probably these 2 powered. And then I'll get these 3 powered. Max consumption is up there, but we still have plenty of room. And I think I'm gonna need, judging by the distance, probably. Ooh, do I even have what it takes to? I keep hitting the tilde key. I think that's why I'm opening up that menu. I think it's like a command menu or something. But let's go ahead and. What am I doing? Crafting bench. I don't even have the plates for the crafting bench. Okay, we're going off over here. You know what I'll do? I'll get rid of this. I'm probably gonna need at least 25. Just a wild guess right there. 7 right there. 12 right there, so 19. I was 6 off. But... Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay, I totally forgot about this stuff. This is gonna require more. I'm gonna guess Uh, 25 again. Alright, let's see what we got. We're doing this. Oh, so I'm gonna be... Oh, okay, I think I'm on the dot with that. because that's 10 plus 7, so that's 17. And that's 8, yeah, so 25 is perfect. Awesome. I'm gonna make sure all these machines turn green before I head back to base. Yeah. Awesome, so... Just gonna recap episode 1 real quick. We just ran around. We automated this normal copper node to get 60 wire and 30 cable per minute. And you can see off in the distance there, I got another miner. That's where we got our 20 plates. What is it? 30 rods? No, 20 rods. 20 plates, 20 rods, and 40 screws over there. I'm not... Yeah, I'll go all over here. I was like, you guys have seen it. I don't need to go over here, but just for, you know, just for the sake of it. Here's this all set up. So, yeah. Next episode, probably what we're going to be planning on doing is getting the milestone for base building finished. Probably finishing the rest of phase 1 in the hub. And we'll hopefully be able to start working on our first factory, which will be the iron factory. Because I know, like, logistics Mark II is going to be huge. Because I can't even maximize my output right now. But we'll be building the factory for the future, which is going to be like 240 iron per minute, I believe. I could even go for 360, but that might be a little overkill right now. I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to future-proof everything as well as I can, just so that I don't have to tear down anything too often and rebuild it. Like, I think last time I played through the game, I tore down probably the iron factory probably 3 or 4 times. I started off with a factory like that, just ground level, and then I built a factory on foundation ground level, and then I built a factory using 240 ore per minute, using like a vertical spread, and then I rebuilt it again with 360 per minute in mind. And yeah, it's a waste of time in the so we're gonna try and be as smart as we can with the time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, go ahead and make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you would. And if you want to see more videos like this, if you got any advice or tips for me, just drop them down in the comments. I'll be keeping a keen eye on that, just to hopefully get some good feedback. But yeah, y'all have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the holiday season. Make sure you're spending some time with family, and yeah, peace.